What up, YouTube? Cameron Sharp here with Team Wicked. I got my boy Nate. He's also on the team.
What's going on?
All right, tell him what you did.
So I went to Duluth last weekend and got 25th with a kind of strange little Orcust build. It's pretty interesting. I'll just get into it and show you kind of what I'm talking about.
All right.
We'll start with the dangers. So it's a going second scrap Orcust deck, and we'll get more into it. But we're playing the dangers, the best 5. Just thins the deck, helps you. You can ditch them off the nightmares to get more value out of them. You can banish them with the lure. So
Did you miss any of the other ones or no?
No, not really, because these summon something, and then this one, obviously, you can just search the summon. So that's the most important thing, is just putting bodies on board.
Gotcha.
Maybe Mothman in the future. Chupacabra, that's definitely a no. And I tried out Bigfoot for like outing certain field spells and stuff like that, floodgates, but it just didn't work out. You just hit it and then you lose. So.
Gotcha.
For the 1-ofs, that is not like including the scrap and the Orcust lineup, I guess. I have Dinosaurs or Pinkertops and then Gizmic. I guess this is an Orcust card, so we don't need to talk about this. I drew this a lot, and I think if you're going second in any deck, you should probably just main it, just because it just wins you a lot of games.
Gotcha.
For the Orcust names, I played 3 Skeleton, 1 Bombard, and then 3 Nightmare, 2 Wand. So I think this is pretty standard for the ratio right now. Obviously, you only play 1 because you don't want to brick on this. I played 3 on this because I kind of want to open it. Just go. I have the scraps in there, so this can just send this. So if I open this, I can obviously ditch it on the Nightmare because I'm going second, or I could just normal summon it sometimes. Sometimes it's good, like after the first turn you break their board, just normal summon this and make a Galateo with anything that's left over. So that's kind of nice.
Gotcha.
But I think the rest is pretty standard besides the 3rd brass. And then more going second cards. I just made the 2 Kaiju.
How'd this work out? Pretty good?
I mean, it's Kaiju. People think, oh, you can banish off a lure. I might cut it for the the turtle, but it was fine. Like this deck, you'll see like the scraps just easily out this card. So maybe if you're playing a deck that's going second that doesn't have a lot of damage to put on board, then maybe play something else. But like if you're just playing a dead matchup game 1, then you can just banish this with a lure. So it's kind of nice.
Gotcha.
And then I guess for the spiciest part of the deck is I'm playing 2 Machine and Fortress,
My
3
favorite
Scrap
part.
Recycler, 1 Golem, and 1 Jet Synchron with the 3 Urgent Schedule. So that's kind of why this deck is built the way it is because you can just special summon this, or activate this, sorry, and then special summon the Scrap and the Fortress, right? So that's instant scrap combo. Plus, if you have other cards in hand to extend, like if you have a Wand, you have a Gizmic, or you have a Nightmare, you can just summon this back and get more pluses off of just summoning a monster, and then you still activate it in graveyard. So this card's really good. If they like negate evenly the battle phase, you can activate this. Standby phase, you can activate this. If they force you to go to first and they try to attack, you can just special summon this, and this is going to blow up a card. Also, just drawing this sometimes is not bad against certain decks because it's really kind of hard for like rogue decks to get over. It's 25, destroys a monster when it's destroyed by battle, a card effect, and if it's targeted, it rips a card out of their hand. So
Gotcha.
It's interesting.
Did this come up, the effect?
Oh yeah, like many times I would just like crash into something that I couldn't out that easily, and I would just attack over it for game. Also, you can't attack with machines, which is like kind of irrelevant, but just know that if you're playing this deck or if you test it online, like that kind of comes up. So you're not really going for like the Orcust like OTK every time, but going more like combos later. That's it for the monsters and the first couple spells.
Gotcha.
For consistency, it's a combo deck, so Call by the Grave. That was okay. Sometimes I sided it out. It's fine. 3 return. I played 44 cards in the main, so seeing this like with the Orcust name gets you to like your power cards like evenly and the urgent schedule. So like it's very needed to have a lot of draw cards.
Gotcha.
3 allure, kind of standard at that point. Then the 1-ofs, Foolish Burial, Monster Reborn, and Babel. This card was the nuts like all day.
Reborn?
You can just reborn the Scrap Golem, special summon the Recycler, and then you can just like get infinite pluses that way. You can set up your whole board. So that's pretty good. And then the last 4 cards are just the traps. So like this is the main reason. Like other than the urgent schedule, why we're going
blowing
second,
people
like,
out the water.
I mean, it's like if you drew this card or urgent schedule, it was game over against every deck. And then obviously the crescendo. Going to the extra.
So they just cut Pot of Desires completely, correct?
I mean, you can still play if you're playing more cards, but I wanted to be consistent enough so I can open urgent schedule and evenly matched. But I also didn't want to play too many cards where I didn't open like a playable hand, and I was forced to like gizmic at weird paces or not open up scrap recycler. Like, I want to open up evenly in urgent schedule as many times as possible when I'm playing. So it's a little. I mean, we're playing Orcust, so the standard. I only played 2 because it's a scrap variant, and it doesn't really grind. You kind of just break their board or you don't. The 2 Dingirsu, it came up. The 1 Long Girsu. Then we played the 1 Link Rebo for the brass. It's pretty nice. Also, Jet Synchron with this card is really nice too.
Oh yeah, it is a 1.
Like, someone Lanciered with me one time, so I just went this and I set like urgent schedule, and they made me go first, and like I just pitched a dead Orcust in hand, and I just had this with another Jet Synchron for next turn, so I just made this to start my plays, and then just popped off with the Nightmares and drawing cards the whole time. As far as like the scrap package, what I would call, like, you have the 1 Wyvern, the 1 Phoenix, the 1 Unicorn, the Appaloosa, and the Nightmare Cerberus. So this is kind of relevant. I was playing the Swarm Ship kind of as a meme, the level 4 or the rank 4. No, sorry, the whatever the hell these are. The Link 4 guy takes just 2 materials. It's a rank 4, gains 200 for each Link in your graveyard. It came up a couple times in testing where you could attack with using the urgent schedule after using these 2. So you draw 2 off of using these, and then you make the Swarm Ship an attack per game. But I felt like just having the extra like utility card and Cerberus came up. So basically, you activate urgent schedule, you special summon this, and then you start your combo. So this will special summon Active Recycler, special summon the Golem, like we all know, special summon that, and then you can make like the Phoenix under it to pop a card. So you already destroyed a card from this because you're going second. So you're destroying a card on the second activation of this on resolution. You're destroying another card, a back row, and drawing a card, and then you're making Phoenix over here, or Unicorn over here, and shuffling something back and drawing a card, while also dumping a card with Recycler, so you can always go into your plays. If you have a Dangers, this gets ridiculous, so you just make Appaloosa after that,
I
so
already
you don't
know.
get in a beard, and then you can just go in your Orcust plays after that. Send another card, set up your grave for next turn. So these cards were all really good. Scrap Wyvern's pretty broken. And then as far as like kind of the rest of the utilities, I played IP, and then the IP targets, like no complaints here. Just like you can end on this as well sometimes. I ended on this is my most insane. This is against Danger Lunar Light the last round. I ended on this. No, sorry, it was this. Yeah. It was this one game with my whole Orcust field like set up. So just making this for one of the big monsters, if they could break that board, I think it was good. But I mean, it's just if you break sometimes, you can just go IP and just have a play still. And then obviously the 1 Portal Sword for OTKing people. We all know how powerful that card is. And then for the side deck, this is probably my weakest part of the deck. I like oversided for Spiral, and I only played against one, Brian Lentini, local guy that went to YCS Seattle and topped there. So I played like a big lineup after the Evenlies in the main and the Kaijus. I played Lava Golem, Nibiru, and Dark Ruler No More.
Another Lava Golem was good.
I think this card is better than Sphere Mode because you can also use it. Like, I was also having like trouble outing UTC boards with Dolka. This is like the only way I think that's like really relevant because this card, it's like okay, yes, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this card. This card, like, it's okay against Spiral, but I like think this is needed against Salad. Salad's still like a good deck, so I think this like destroys Salad. That's kind of like the very, very Spiral heavy, and then just 3 Twister and 3 Chalice.
How'd Chalice do this weekend?
Chalice was like really, really, really good in testing, getting over like Fossil Dynas and like a bunch of like the anti-meta cards, while also like being a defensive and offensive card. Like Appaloosa, you can just negate this with that. I guess the whole theory behind most of the side deck is like I played this over Impermanence because I can draw this as my 6th card and still play, and then if they try to respond, then activate this card. This is good as a 6th card. This is good as a 6th card. This is not like everything in my deck. I don't play any hand traps. I don't play like anything that's not good as your 6th card except for the Nibiru's. That's the only card that is in my deck. Like that's like counterplay to other people's. That I just don't think hand traps are that powerful.
You didn't miss them.
Like, yeah, I mean maybe I think about putting in with the popularity that people board playing Danger Lunar Light and incorporating the Gammas in their deck, I'd maybe think about that because I think that's the strongest hand trap. But honestly, like, I'd probably cut this.
Some could argue DD Crow's pretty good. It's a lure target.
Yeah, like DD
Use
Crow.
the yellow. It's just.
Yeah, it is game, but at the same point, it's like if I draw like one of these cards, it's like their lambdas off and stuff. But I think I'll probably cut these two. Lightning Storm possibly. You know, it's just is it worth the investment? Yeah. And then I'll probably have to reevaluate some
Did you
maybe Super Poly.
Did you miss Red Reboot?
I probably put Red Reboot in too. I didn't play against a lot of trap decks, but I think it's like very strong. But like with the Evenly and the Twin Twister and the Scraps, like they have to have a lot of things to kind of like out that. I didn't really have a problem with traps. I lost to one Lunar Light Danger. Like round 5. I tied against Brian Montini, like I said earlier, round 2. And then I misplayed really big. It's just like kind of threw me off tilt, but I misplayed against some pendulum list. I was kind of just playing like a stall, like kind of control pendulum with like Mystic Mind and a bunch of other stuff. It was really interesting, but I made a small misplay that cost me the game. So
Gotcha.
I think like going forward, I think this is a really strong way to play Orcust because you have the power of like evenly match and Lightning Storm. Like you could main Lightning Storm if you wanted to, while also like Scrap Recycler by itself is like combo after you break the board, and that's still strong. Like people don't understand like Orcust is still a strong deck.
Yeah, I definitely
you
wouldn't
could
count it
still
out.
feel like I know it's been topping with like kind of gimmicky like going first variants, but I think like this is a really strong. You guys should try it out. But thank you, thanks Cam. Shout outs to Team Wicked as you know as always. Shout out to Julian. Shout out to locals here, Super Games and Win Condition in Georgia. And then I guess that's pretty much it.
Cool. Appreciate it, man.
No problem.